What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 4 of my Total Warhammer 2 modded Arkhan the Black campaign. So as we saw last time, after a fairly easy battle, Al-Haik fell and the Vegans errantry faction was worn down to a single town remaining. It will rebel soon as well, so I don't know whether that'll be good or bad for us at the end of the day. It really depends on how long the rebellion army stays there and whether it does anything, because if it just sits outside the walls, it's going to be bad for us because these guys are just going to keep recruiting, and I would rather prevent them from doing so via a siege, so we may have to destroy that rebellion army ourselves. One of the other aspects of this is that we have now gotten close enough to Khemri, who we are at war with automatically, and Settra, shush. Go serve somewhere. Okay. So these guys might attack us. It really depends on whether... Wait, is Settra fighting anybody else? He is fighting the top knots up north, so hopefully he won't just suddenly turn towards us. I do know that the AI likes to focus the player, though, so it is definitely something we'll have to watch out for. Now, before we end this turn, there's one thing to do. I just want to send you, Mr. Kura, as close over here as possible to Martek. Let's see what's going on. Okay, they have nothing available, and they do have walls, which means 2 extra peasant bowmen and a pretty damn hefty garrison. Okay, well, that'll have to be a real fight. Here's what we do. We are going to combine these units into one, get rid of a unit, and then I guess combine these guys into one as well. And then delete you. And then, damn, I should have deleted 1, not 2. Ah, whatever. I want to get some more skeleton archers. We are at 5 out of 9 of them. We should probably max these out, as they will come in a little bit more handy in a siege than just plain troops. So that's good. In terms of research, we got first dynasty plans coming up quite soon. So 7 more turns, and we can just start going for the wisdom of the second dynasty. I might even decide to skip this one. I'm not 100% sure. The thing here is, we really want to get a third army on the field as soon as possible. There's no reason not to have one, and it'll just make a lot of things a lot easier, like defending stuff, if we need to. So maybe I'll just skip that one. Anyway, we still need to upgrade the Wizard Caliph's Palace. We are almost where we need to be in that sense in terms of growth, so let's end the turn. There we go, population surplus. Let us upgrade those. Try to... Oh, damn. We got Khemri agents over here as well, so they might start annoying our armies. And we don't have an agent of our own to work with yet, at least until we upgrade Arkhan a little bit. We could destroy these guys in the field, but I think... Okay, yeah, see, these guys are recruiting already, and... Oh... So, they fixed their public order. Fascinating. Faction destroyed, blooded axe tribe. Yeah, well, that was always going to happen. So, Arkhan the Black. How do we do this? How do we do this? I was hoping to recruit more troops, but it's probably better not to let them recruit any troops either. So I think we have to move here, and we have to siege with King Kura, and then we'll just move him out of the way and let Arkhan siege for a little while. Next turn. Or we could attack with King Kura. The only thing is, I want Arkhan to get the experience for this. It's more important for him to get that rank 10 as soon as physically possible. So yeah, I think we have to do that anyway. We're not risking any more troops here now that we have now that we've recruited these extra 2 Nehekar warriors. Now I'm kind of tempted to just get rid of the skeleton spears here. Maybe they're not needed. We can recruit 3 more archers in this army. We will have basically no infantry other than the Nehekar warriors, who are not very good on the melee defense side, but it'll make it easier to siege. And I want to replace these guys with Tomb Guard anyway. Maybe we keep 1 just in case as a throwaway unit. Let's do that. Let's keep 1. We'll keep the middle one because it has more XP. Like so. Like so. More archers all over the place. And you are not... Yeah, we're not going to spend the gold on that because we don't have enough. What we are going to spend the gold on is that Wizard Caliph's Palace upgrade. And the Ancient Burial Mound. Yeah, both these 2 buildings are just going to take all of our resources together. How many crypt horrors will this allow us to build? 2 straight up. And then it'll allow us to build some more crypt ghouls, I believe. Oh no, we're actually maxed out on the crit pools. Okay, well, it is what it is. And that's another reason to get that third army, just to start recruiting over there without having to move Arkhan back, because Settra is coming. And you know what we need to do is tech toward Bow Shabti very, very quickly. Shabti with Great Bow, yeah, this is going to take a while. I guess we'll build the Statuary of Khemri right here as well. Oh, but this will only open up one more slot, which means a Desert Lookout. We could get rid of the Tainted Oasis, but we are already suffering public order issues here. Oh man, that's also a difficult question. And the my reasoning for the Bo Ushabti very soon is the fact that Khemri, I can never remember if Settra starts with a Khemrian War Sphinx or a Necro Sphinx. What I do know is that we have nothing whatsoever that could deal with those if we were to fight him in a battle. We just won't be able to damage that thing. So what we need is to get a couple Bow Shabti just to be able to snipe those constructs. Ironically, the Tomb Kings, other than the Necro Sphinx and the Bow Shabti, and I guess the Bone Giant, it's kind of difficult to deal with constructs, especially early game. Anyway, you, Arkhan, oh right, you're setting your point. I bet it's you that I wanted to assign points to. Let's go with, I guess, missile resistance, construction time, for all buildings, local region. I mean, we probably will get this eventually just for the lab upgrade. When defending, ammunition when defending, yeah, I don't, probably we won't be defending for a while. You know what, yeah, let's go for ceremonial bandages and then we'll continue moving. Okie dokie, and then you can build a ram. Oh, you can build a ram in a tower? It'll be only 2 towers, but that'll still be helpful, I think. Or we could build 2 rams and break through both gates. Might also be a decent option. Alright, let's do that. Double ram. Or do we go one... wait. If we go tower, we could send our elite units up there, the Whites of Stonewrath Tarn, and since the enemy does not have a trebuchet, they can't really do anything about that. Yeah, you know what? Changed my mind. 1 ram, 1 tower. Well, technically 2 towers. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's end the turn, and let's get to this battle. Now, who do we have over here? Is that Settra? I think it's Settra. Which is going to be a problem. Oh! Oh, this guy decided to sally out. Oh, but we can't beat him in the field with this army. There's no way. He has 2 lords. Damn. And then Settra's over there, so we can't have Arkhan here anyway. Yeah, there's no way we can win this, simply because these units are trash, and then the peasant bowman will just kill all of our units. Yeah, I don't think we need to lose this army. Okay, what we'll do is we'll retreat, and we're gonna go deal with Settra, then we'll come back for this. Ossuary Dirge, for Neckar Warriors. Okay, some upgrades for those guys, that's fine. And it is indeed Settra himself. He's got 2 of his Special Legion units already. How the hell do we get our Special Legion unit? Does he start with 2, or is there something you have to do for this? Odd. I know that Arkhan has, I did read the patch notes somewhat, and I know that he's supposed to have 2 legions. Man, but if we were to destroy Settra's army here, cripple it for good, the only problem is we can't get close enough. We could walk right into Al-Haik, but I'm willing to bet Settra will run away right after. Well, you know what? Let's try. We're going to go into Al-Haik. It'll allow these guys to rebuild, but it is what it is. And then we're going to march you, my friend, right... I guess we're going to march you right here. We march you closer to Settra or further away? Will this bait Settra into attacking? Here's the problem. We could go right here and try to ambush, but if we get discovered, then Settra will isolate and destroy this army by himself. If we go here, Settra might be too afraid to attack us, and it is a War Sphinx, so the anti-infantry type. Okay, well that's also a problem. Plus he has 3 chariots and a couple of these elite units. Damn. I had a feeling Settra would come here. And I know we can't take Khemri with these armies because it has some, it has a really good starting garrison. Damn, and we're just a little bit too far away to attack Settra. Ah, man. We could leave him here. I'm confident that Arkhan's force could beat Settra's force. I mean, oh, he has Tomb Swarm as well. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, maybe not. You know what? Maybe we could just chase Settra down. Let's try it. Let's see if he wants to fight both of these armies. And if he doesn't, let's see how far he can run away. Now that Arkhan is here, can he really march all the way to Zandri from here? A little bit disappointing. What if we... ambush success chance was 50, all regions causing attrition. Damn, no, I was hoping that the sandstorm would actually cause them to... that it would cause them to move less in our territory, i.e. cripple their movement speed, but apparently not the case. Oh well. I guess we'll have to deal. We're gonna see what this does. Let's end this turn. A research available. First dynasty, skip it. We're going Wisdom of the Second Dynasty. We do want this proclamation, but I don't want to spend the gold right now. And end it. Settra will most likely run. The question is, will he return to Zandri, or will he will attack us? Settra, what the hell are you doing, man? You absolute... Oh, and he attacked King Kura, so defeating Settra won't give Arkhan the buff off. Okay, well, we're obviously gonna fight this. Cinematic battle time, here we go.
Arise, my legions!
Alrighty, here we go. Arkhan versus Settra, much earlier in the campaign than I was originally planning. But if we can cripple the faction and then capitalize on that later, we absolutely will. Now, we do run into a little bit of a problem here. Our secondary army is actually starting on the side here, which means the vast majority of King Kura's army is actually going to have to act as sacrificial bait. They're just going to have to hold the line, distract some of Settra's army, while Arkhan's army, the heavy damage dealing army, tries to destroy the rest of them. So here's the setup. A basic line of all our skeleton soldiers, our warriors, and our spears. Once again, I expect basically all of them to die here because they're facing better units. They're facing the Hawk Legion. There's 3 sets of chariots, which can absolutely obliterate these basic units, and the AI is quite decent at using them chariots. They also have the Khemrian War Sphinx and Settra himself, so yeah, not the prospects ain't looking too good for these fellas, but that's what they're here for. They're infinitely replaceable, they're cheap and effective, and that's what we're going to be using them for. Now, we also have 3 of our bowmen, and I think the bowmen are actually going to be pretty critical in this particular battle. Going to set them up over here along with the Tomb King. The more useful, I suppose, units, or I suppose more dangerous units, or units that I want to preserve throughout the battle so we can get as much use out of that ammunition as possible. The enemy army doesn't actually have any kind of range support to speak of, so as long as these guys hold the line for long enough, we should be able to bring a lot of arrows to bear and destroy them at the end of the day. It's mainly going to be tough to destroy the chariots, the War Sphinx, and Settra himself. A lot of that is going to have to come from range focus, as well as Arkhan's leech magic, and I don't remember if anybody else has a spirit leech, rather, or if anybody else has any kind of magic that we can use. Plus, we do have the poison effects of the Crypt Ghouls, so at least slow the enemy down. Now, I do believe somebody made a comment last episode that the volume was a little bit too loud when zoomed in to the effect. You guys let me know how it sounds this time, because I will be zooming in again. I did turn down the effects volume a little bit, so I'm not 100% sure whether it's effects that affect the battle clamor noise, or whether it's something else. In fact, Yeah, I turned down effects a little bit. It's not interface. I was wondering if it could be speech, but I imagine it's speech from... speech is probably not this. It's when actual characters are talking. I hope that's what it means, not when characters are yelling. Anyway, there's the War Sphinx, and it's a glorious construct. A little bit jelly that we don't have one, but surprisingly, it doesn't actually perform as effectively as I thought it would against a single unit of spears. It is an anti-infantry unit, and I guess it is facing an anti-large unit, but it is a very weak anti-large unit, and it pins it here in place for quite a while. I actually expected this to demolish this very, very quickly. Look how a single charge from these chariots demolished this particular unit of skeleton spears. I actually should have taken a look at this, but too late. I was too busy checking out that damn Sphinx. Now, as soon as these chariots charged, what I did was surround them with the Flock of Joff and the Fell Bats so that they can't get out of this press. So they're stuck here. They're going to take continuous damage from the Fell Bats from one unit of Skeleton Spears as the other one is dead. And hopefully we can destroy these chariots here and then move on to the next ones over here. In the meantime, the battle lines have joined, and ours are not going to survive. But let's see just how long they can hold. I like how the both the Tomb King factions, or I guess it's all the Tomb King factions, have two colors on their shields. It breaks up the monotony a little bit. There we go. So yeah, you guys, this is what you expect to see in the desert. Just skeletons fighting for eternity. And at least where it's skeleton spears versus skeleton spears, that is certainly going to take a long time. Same thing going on over here. There are actually several points or quadrants to this battle that are interesting. Oh, hello, what do we have here? Oh, that's Settra's explosion. Damn, I did not see this when I was playing. I guess I was focused somewhere else. That absolutely decimated this one unit. And they're drained and they're probably going to die. Okay, good job, Settra. So yeah, these guys are all sacrificial. They're going to hold the line. Same with these guys, just trying to keep the Hemrian War Sphinx out of the main battle line and actually foolishly charge here instead of the biggest concentration of troops where it could disrupt our formations. But hey, I'm not going to look a gift Sphinx in the mouth. The chariots here are dropping, so that is actually working out for us. And we also encountered another problem. We can't escape units, right? The Tomb Kings can't run these units away, so the skeleton spears, you see all these hurt units, they're from the garrison and they came in. Usually what I do is actually just tell them to withdraw immediately so we get our good units on the field, because we're missing a Tomb Scorpion, we're missing some Crypt Ghouls, we're missing all of our Dire Wolves, so all of our Pseudo-Cav, and we're missing our Casket of Souls, our only artillery unit, because these garrison units came in. Obviously, that's a major issue. And, oh, Chariot goes down to the poison of the Crypt Ghouls, although the Crypt Ghouls did take some damage. They're getting a little bit of help from the Lich Priest, who was fighting amongst the Chariots, and these guys did explode, so I'm pretty happy with that. The Hawk Legion of Settra over here, you can tell by those distinctive shields that they've got. I do like the colors. And they are actually going to hold here forever. They're absolutely surrounded, and they just don't care. I want to check back next time I see these guys what their stats are, because I was very impressed with how long they held. I feel like these guys look like they would hold longer because they're almost, well, since they're Crypt Guard, they feel like they should be as defensive as Tomb Guard are, or resilient, I should say, resilient on the defense. There we go. As I said, I'm tired. Yeah, the Hawk Legion definitely impressed me here. I guess they are spear warriors as well, so maybe it's not surprising that they have very high defense. So let's see what else we have going on. We do have a fairly decent amount of archers. We got the 3 that we started with. We got 4 from the garrison. Even if they're hurt, they can still output some arrows, plus 1 that came in with Arkhan's army himself. Arkhan is, of course, trying to take out these Hawk Legion units with the help of all these. So this unit is actually going to drop considerably faster. I don't know whether that's due to the fact that Arkhan is here, or whether the fact that it's surrounded by 3 units in addition to Arkhan, plus the damage it took from the arrows. I actually turned the arrows off from attacking this thing because it was they were going to start doing damage to these guys. So I'd rather target them at units that we don't have a risk of killing our own. Plus, I actually want the garrison units to die, like this unit, because the faster they die, the more we would get this Realm of Souls. Now, Realm of Souls is actually maxed out at this stage very, very quickly, but that's mostly because of all these skeleton spears dropping. And there we go, more arrow fire coming in, lots of focusing from the side and from the back into these guys, so their shields aren't going to be too effective there. So hopefully we can at least win this one flanking battle. It seems like both sides have their Realm of Souls up and they're both healing. I do believe that the Ushabti summons should start coming in fairly soon. And I do summon Ushabti over here somewhere in the center, which we will see in a second. And okay, it looks like the chariots on this flank have dropped. There's a lot to this battle. I don't know where to throw the screen next. I keep having to slow it down. I guess that's the mark of a good battle, but you know, I often find that the better battles in a campaign are often in the early game, where you have a lot of these chaff units. It just seems more fun. There we go. The summoning of the Ushabti is in. Summon them behind Settra's area, or the portion of the map that's led by Settra. Settra actually counters with that Tomb Swarm right on top of our units, but his as well. I don't know whether Tomb Swarm actually damages your own units. I feel like it doesn't, but I'm not entirely sure. All I know is what it's interesting that the AI countered with that, but I feel like the Ushabti are going to do a lot more damage to these guys because A, they're flanking them, B, they're quite good at this whole anti-infantry thing, and C, these are fairly weak infantry. Now, I believe the enemy has also summoned their Ushabti somewhere back here, or at least they're about to. I do know that they summon them on our range units, and I do try to surround them as fast as possible. And this is what I was talking about back here. Despite the fact that these guys are absolutely surrounded, they're being attacked by Crypt Ghouls, which, as I said before, are damage dealers and do poison. And we have the Lich Priest whacking away, disrupting their formation as he's a hero. This Hawk Legion unit just stays alive for long. I actually kind of dislike the glowing from the healing on all the undead units because it's a little bit too much. Kind of hard to enjoy the battle that way when everything is glowing. You can't see anything but green glowing stuff everywhere. Anyway, there's the Ushabti coming in, and they do indeed try to go for our skeleton archers, but it's not a big deal. This is a garrison unit, and honestly, it wouldn't even be a big deal if it wasn't a garrison unit, because almost everything in all these armies is completely replaceable. And look at that focus fire coming in from our range units on this portion of the front lines, as it were. It looks like this is the only part we won. Well, I mean, this part we obviously won, but these were stragglers that we obliterated. I mean, out of the front line that King Kura's army was distracting, these guys got absolutely wrecked by these arrows, and that's quite nice. As I was saying earlier, these arrows would come in handy, and indeed they did. Are these Tomb Guard with halberds? That's what they look like. Indeed they are. Oh, I didn't even realize they had this elite unit over here. Well, I'm now really glad that the arrows took them apart like this. Look at them drop, and all that sand being kicked up by the arrows. Very nice. Alright, let's see what's going on in the main portion of the battle. It looks like our Ushabti have basically run out of steam and are starting to disintegrate, but at the same time we did get 2 units, supporting units in. A set of Nehekara warriors, as well as the Crypt Ghouls, as well as a small charge by a unit of Nehekara horsemen we got from the garrison. So these guys are going to be helping out with this flank, and this flank will also win due to the fact that these guys are rear charging this, plus the summon. Once again, this was the issue with the fact that the garrison units came in. We couldn't get those doggos, those dire wolves coming in and doing exactly this to help out with destroying the front lines. That Kemrian War Sphinx still fighting this one single unit. Like, I really feel that this unit underperformed here. Like, certainly it doesn't take any damage, but it really shouldn't take this long to kill a single unit of weak chaff units. This is what it's designed to do, right? And it looks like another set of chariots will die, and this will be the third and last set of chariots that the enemy had possession of. I think it was a pretty good use of our 2 units of flyers. We had limited ability with them, and instead of rear charging them, which probably could have actually got us at least one one more portion of the fight as a win, we were able to take out those really threatening units that we didn't really have much recourse to otherwise because we couldn't catch them. And there we go, the Cameron War Sphinx finally able to destroy that unit that it was fighting all game and bounds in to the main remaining melee over here. As the rest of the stragglers have been destroyed, Arkhan's very slow army is going to join this part, and this is where the battle will be decided. This is all that's left. I'm actually getting all of our range units to fire over this part because they would then otherwise hit our units and fire into the units that would otherwise approach. And once again, arrows coming in really, really helping out. There we go, and of course I am moving up Arkhan as well as all our heroes to start, because we will need them to combat the War Sphinx as well as Settra himself. But mostly we'll stand back and Spirit Leech them, throwing chaff at them until they get worn down and all their supporting troops are dead, and then we will finish them off. So here we go. I do believe that, yep, that Hawk Legion finally died as well, so that's beautiful. And we did finally get the doggo spawn, as many of the of King Kura's units have finally died. Settra's starting to take damage. I think he took some damage to the Ushabti, and I believe I got one Spirit Leech off him. I also was able to get a Curse of Ksar going, and as soon as I did, I switched all the range to fire on the Cameron War Sphinx. This does deplete its armor, but they did also use that plus 40% physical resistance to counter. So once again, decent job by the AI actually getting some counter action going in several places. I'm rarely impressed with the Total War AI, and it does seem like it does at least a couple reasonably smart things. It probably would have done better by death blobbing in this particular battle, although I'm not entirely sure. Just because, okay, and there's the Spirit Leech. Just because if it had death blobbed, or Death Starred, as the vampire accounts like to call it, then, oh, look at that bound. Then we would have been able to use our Casket of Souls as soon as it came up and then destroyed massive amounts of units. Oh, that's glorious. Oh, it's like a doggo. It's adorable. And yes, I'm aware that it's supposed to be a cat-like thing, but I don't know. It looks like a happy doggo jumping around. You gotta admit, aesthetically, it's a great unit. I'm just not sure why it's underperforming so much. Okay, maybe in a press like this, it would get a lot more kills. I'm actually kind of curious to see how many kills it's going to get by the end of the battle. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I did try to send the Scorpion to head it off and try to get it to duel while the Sphinx was out here, but the Sphinx just completely ignored the Scorpion and ran into the infantry, which is probably what it should be doing. While it could damage the Scorpion, it's definitely not going to kill it. At least not for a while. It's not a Necro Sphinx after all. And there we go. We have one more extra area over here. A set of Skeleton Spearmen, or two sets of Skeleton. No, a Skeleton Spearmen and a Skeleton Warrior set that didn't make it to this area, but most of the enemy army is debilitated right now. These guys got surrounded by ghouls, and the elite unit, the Whites of Stonewrath Tarn, are coming in to hold the ground here, as well as 3 units of doggos and all these flyers, just to get rid of these guys, because I don't really want to fire our Casket of Souls at them, because it would just kill a lot of our own ghouls. So these guys are debilitated, they're going to die real quick. And then the Cameron War Sphinx now debilitated as well, and dropping. Down it goes and exploding. The Spirit Leeches destroying these guys, as well as Settra himself still has his Spirit Leech on him. And the poison from the ghouls surrounded, getting attacked by a Scorpion. All of his followers have dropped. His Sphinx has fallen, and down goes his horse and Settra himself. He's finally been served, and it looks like, oh, I thought he'd be the last on the field, but it looks like it'll be these guys, just by a few. Then it looks like there's the win. Oh, I did not mean to do that. That probably killed a lot more of our own troops than it did theirs. But, hey, it finished them off. And Pyrrhic victory, it says. But with the undead, I generally don't consider Pyrrhic victories to be Pyrrhic victories. Oftentimes, especially when you once again have trash replaceable units, because you're supposed to sacrifice those units. They served a good cause, and they allowed us to basically cripple a faction early. So there we go. Ooh, there we go, a fun battle, most fun one I think so far, and it looks like it cost us about the same amount of units, a little bit more actually, than it cost the enemy to destroy Settra's army. However, it does get rid of his starting Henry and War Sphinx, which means he can't build another one until he gets that building back up and running. He lost 3 elite, well, elite-ish, rank 5 and 4 chariots, plus rank 4 of all of his units, 2 of these elite Hawk Legion units as well, and one of those Hawk Legion units stayed around for a long time in that fight. It just wouldn't freaking die. And look at the losses. The Chaff army, King Kura's army, did its job very well, holding the line, allowing for more and more reinforcements to come in. Arkhan's army, of course, barely got hurt at all. Mostly ghouls taking damage, I think, because I did send them out to fight directly a couple of times, once against the chariots, and then once in that giant pile with Settra at the end, and then of course the some extra forces from the garrison, which I also sent in. I actually expected all of these forces from the garrison to die basically right away, but they took a little bit longer, and that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but it's alright. It's alright. At the end of the day, Settra is out of the way for a little while, and we are going to... Can't believe we only get 50 canoptic jars for this. Replenishment is pointless. You know what? I think this time we're going to go Endless March. We need the money. We have uses for money, and it looks like, judging by Settra's power bar at the end there, he has a lot more of these armies where that one came from. So we need to get rid of the... We need to get rid of Martek very soon, and then turn our eyes towards fighting Settra. Without the War Sphinx, I'm a lot less afraid of him. Once again, Khemri has a ridiculous garrison, so we can't siege it. They can just sally out and destroy any army that we can come up with, so that's going to be a problem. So, let us begin by sending Arkhan... I mean, I guess we're going to send him as near to Al-Haik as possible. It'll cripple his regeneration of troops, but we can't let these guys build up. So let's go right here, and I'm really hoping that Settra doesn't have yet another army here, because we're going to move King Kura, and we're going to move him right here as well. Just going to leave Al-Haik completely unguarded yet again. I suppose if nothing else, it served as swell bait. Arkhan is now at level 8, which is quite nice. As soon as he gets to that level 10, we'll be sitting pretty. And I think with regards to Martek, we're basically going to... Oh, damn. It looks like they got more troops in here. I don't remember them having 4 foot squires. And now we can't really attack him until this is fixed up a little bit. Let's get 2 more of these guys. All of the skeleton spears died. Oh man, we could use some more fellbats and stuff, but we can't get back to our territory. If we fight like this, it'll be tough. What I might end up doing is summoning another casket of souls, just so that we can attack Martek immediately. With 2 caskets, we should be able to destroy all the towers and a lot of the enemies on the walls before we ever hit the walls themselves, which should allow this army to break through okay. At least I think so. That's the theory of the thing, anyway. Let's see. Now, these are the regiments of renown that they're still locked. I'm going to read between the episodes about how exactly we unlock the special legions, not the lost legions, these guys, the ones that Settra had 2 of, and Arkhan has 1 of. I would like to get some more of these, because they are defenders, and they do hold the line a lot better. I would love to have these guys in here instead of Tomb Guard, because of this being Arkhan's army. Now, let's see, is there anything else we need to do this turn? We're obviously basically out of time this episode, so there won't probably be another battle here. But I'd like to set up for the next couple of episodes, or the next episode at the very least, right now. Let's get that passage of the Soul Realm just to upgrade these guys, and then get those carrion swarms as well. I doubt that they stack, but hey, you never know. Arkhan we don't need to upgrade, and I believe that's everybody. At least we're only working with fairly simple recruitment. Let's just double check. Okay, we got 0 in terms of public order here, so we're good. This place won't rebel. Okay, let's end the turn. Let's end the turn, see how many troops Martek makes. Okay, now Khemri's power is a little bit weaker, so that I'm a little bit happier with. And Alright, these guys are moving back to Virus. This guy's eyeing Al-Haik, I bet. Oh, look, Grapier's prospectors have declared war on Pagan's Infantry. Interesting. Very interesting. They actually kind of like us now. They're not willing to trade. They don't like us that much, but... fascinating. They hated the errantry too. Oh, because the errantry have this territory, which is part of their territory. But if we take it, they're not gonna like it that much either. We still need to take Virus as well. Why do you guys have Night Watch instead of walls? What are you doing, Virus? Anyway, okay, so these guys did manage to build some, but one was a peasant mob and a couple spearmen at arms. That's not going to be anything to concern about. How in the hell did the Lich Priest out-level the Lich King? What is this? What are you doing? How are you doing this? You literally magical man. Let's see. Oh, we can choose a disciple. Summons a larger unit of skeleton warriors. Justice of Assyrian versus an explosion. I feel like since this is going to be Arkhan's priest, I want to go Disciple of Assyrian. And I don't know how powerful this explosion is. Deals 30 weapon damage, 10 armor piercing damage per second for 3 seconds. I take it that's to every unit that it affects. Explosion does not affect... Oh, it doesn't affect friendly troops, though. Damn, I really wish I could test this out. But you know what? Either way, I think I'm going to go with Justice of Assyrian. Wait, activates automatically. Duration type target enemy. Summons a larger unit of skeleton warriors. And a skeleton warriors unit is a trash unit, but... we're going to have a lot of summoning in this particular army. That's why I just feel like I should do this. Recruit rank +1, Lord Recruit rank. Yeah, I don't really care any of that. But we got to go... I'm really curious about this. But no, Disciple of Assyrian. I've decided. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's set up the siege here. And... wait. If we go into Corrupted Dynasties stance, we can still siege. Okay, here's the question. Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do... a transfer. Arkhan, you're gonna lose your other spear. Then we are, in fact, going to summon another one of these Caskets of Souls. I'm not waiting. And with the second casket, maybe we can take Virus before moving on to Zandri and Bel Aliad. There we go. Double up on the caskets. That makes Arkhan's army a lot more threatening. Now, he can't hold the ground very well, or any ground very well, or at all. But with this, we won't need to wait for a ram to be completed, because we can have the Scorpion break the walls while we siege away. So you can continue siege. We will do this at the start of next episode, unfortunately, because it will take a while of just sitting there and pelting those walls. So this is indeed where I'm going to call it. There's probably some administrative stuff to do at the very least in this particular episode before I start the next one. So I'm going to do that. It'll probably be... I'm tired. It's late. It'll probably be some buildings. Actually, no, we can't afford to spend any money because we're going to need to save it. So yeah, we're just going to straight up start the next battle immediately with the siege with the double caskets. And hopefully take Martek, and then immediately move to Virus, and then immediately move to Zandri. Once again, I sincerely doubt we'll be able to take Khemri, unless we can catch Settra out again, and then just bombard it with the caskets. It would be amazing to take Khemri early, and just take all this territory. I think... I mean, we've got good prospects, but things could go ploy-and-shape real quick. But I guess we'll see next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and a comment to support the channel. It really, really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.